Hello everybody and welcome back down in the shop. Got something I want to talk to you about, and something's going to, I believe everybody's going to like. Something a lot of times people won't tell you that about, but I'm going to fill you in on a couple of real good go-to lures in the wintertime for them smallmouth. Everybody wants to catch them smallmouth, and wintertime's a good time to do it. A lot of these lakes, they drop the lakes. You can see a lot more rock and stuff like that them smallmouth like to stay around, especially up around Center Hill. They love Center Hill Lake. It's a highland reservoir, and it's deep and it's cold, but in the wintertime they'll drop to about 10 or 12 feet, and man, them smallmouth love it up there. So I want to share with you a couple of lures that and a couple of rigging methods that maybe it'll help you. Okay, one of course is jig. I've made more videos about a jig, I guess, than any other piece of equipment and tackle that I have is a jig. This here's a dirty jig, 1/2 ounce, and what I'll do, I'll take and get right up there next to those bluffs, and what I rig that with on soft plastic is a 5-inch Yamamoto twin tail grub. And I tell you, they designed this grub, and the way it falls, it don't fall too fast, it don't fall too slow. It's a very good design. But that right there, that's a killer on the bluffs or rock flats or whatever for a smallmouth. Caught a ton of smallmouth on that rig right there. That one right there, let me get up here where you can see it. That's it. That's you give me one lure, you say, okay, Bruce, you got to have one lure in the boat. You're looking at it right there. And I'm going to work that thing slow. I'm going to find that big old chunk rock. And that right there will get them out of there. The other thing is something you probably hadn't seen before. Comes from Catch 'em Tackle. They're from up in Indiana. Real good guys. I've known these fellas for a long time, and they make really, really good lures. Dave and Jimmy have took that company a long ways, and we'll be in the shows with them come wintertime. East Tennessee show and the one up in Lebanon. But I'll show you a crawl that they came out with, and I'll show you a couple of ways to rig it. That's a crawl right there. And what makes it unique, let me get my arm up here. Pinchers are hollow, and it comes with rattles also in the bag with it. And what you'll do, you'll insert those rattles inside those inside those pinchers, and the way that I rig it now, the way that I do that one, they make the green pumpkin also, but I like this color. Wintertime, wintertime, I like that color right there. You can go on their website and see them, www.catchemtackle.com. If I see a long rocky point, I'll rig that up on a stand-up shaky head. Now everybody's done that, and that's the way I'll do it with that. Is that one right there. And I'll drag that along down that point, especially if the sun's shining, because the smallmouth love the sun, down those banks and those rocks, and that's a killer on it. Another way, of course, is a EWG, and I use a 3/8 tungsten on it, and I rig it same way as everybody else. Rig that up there weedless on a Texas rig. Just like that. And those two ways right there. And I will take that also with that jig, and something you can't ever be afraid to do. And people try to match the colors all the time, and I agree to a point to that, but you can't be afraid to mix and match them sometimes. You take that crawl, cut it down, and I'll rig that like that right there. Just like that. And that'll fall real slow because of the buoyancy of these pinchers. And that's a good one in the wintertime for those smallmouth also. But those are just a couple of my favorites. If I had anything, you give me one thing that I can have in a boat. Wintertime, those are going to be it. Especially the jig, and then you can also use a crawl like that with the jig rod. Work it very, very slow, and I guarantee you're going to catch some fish out there. But I appreciate it. Y'all come on back in the shop again. We'll find something else to talk about.